Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a nice little chat today because something incredible happened with Dying Light 2, and I'm so excited to talk to you about it, okay? Techland, they went ahead on Twitter, or X now, and they announced that a new in-game currency called Dying Light Points will be added into the game very, very soon. So you know how Fortnite, they have their V-Bucks and Call of Duty's got their Call of Duty points? Well, Dying Light now, they got their Dying Light points, or DLP for short. And this announcement was made public only a few weeks after one of the biggest stories regarding Techland this year so far. For those unaware, Techland, the developers behind Dying Light 2, they've been in the hot seat recently for being purchased by Tencent. Tencent is a massive technology company based in China, notorious for adding in microtransactions in mobile games, blatant plagiarism, and the list goes on and on of so many other shitty things this company has done. And for this Dying Light 2 announcement, they actually listed a very in-depth FAQ section that aims to give us additional insight and hopefully address some of our concerns that we may have, and we're going to go over exactly that in this video from start to finish. Funny enough, Techland actually addresses Tencent here. Is the Dying Light points introduction in any way connected to your recent Tencent partnership announcement? No, the events are not connected at all. To give you a little bit of context, we have been offering bundles for purchase even back in Dying Light 1. And for Dying Light 2, we were thinking about building a flow where you can buy bundles in-game from the start. However, the implementation required production time, which is why we're doing it only now. Make that for what you will, whether it holds truth or validity is entirely up to your interpretation. I just want to say that the timing of this announcement, it could not be at any worse time, and this goes beyond the Tencent and Techland deal, okay? Right now in the gaming industry, to put it simply, it's in complete shambles. You know why? It's all because of this small little game right here, Baldur's Gate 3, that I have dumped way too much time into, by the way. You see, Baldur's Gate 3 is receiving so much praise from players all over the world, not only because the game is absolutely incredible, but it also offers up a compelling story with over hundreds of hours of cutscenes and engaging gameplay. It's truly a blast to play, okay? But the main thing, the main issue people have a problem with was because it launched in a fully complete state with little bugs and zero microtransactions. What a wild thing to do! It's what gaming should be. It's what gaming used to be. That game's success has sparked so much controversy amongst developers in the AAA gaming space, saying that this shouldn't be the norm and essentially that gamers shouldn't be expecting this again in the future. The whole situation is just wild. Even IGN came out and had an incredibly good take discussing the current state of gaming and why most players are feeling pretty burnt out, or they're just getting sick of these shady business practices that so many companies are doing nowadays. Gamers are getting sick of companies trying to nickel and dime them at every given opportunity, and rightfully so. I mean, look at games like Destiny 2. That community is on life support right now because of all the tedious and intrusive ways Bungie has been taking advantage of their player base. They are practically stopping support for their PvP and PvPvE modes, that's a mouthful to say, stating that they don't have the resources. But you know what's fully intact and what's fully working right now, and it was getting consistent updates almost every week, every month? Silver Store, the cosmetic store, the in-game shop, it's working fine. It's getting some of the best cosmetic content ever. And don't even get me started about Diablo 4, because when Blizzard are not busy abusing their female employees, they're going and updating Diablo 4 to purposely milk you dry, extending game time by increasing the duration of loading screens. It's so bizarre. And then you have Overwatch 2, which they made a number 2 so they could add PvE, but that didn't happen. They just added in more battle passes. Ugh! Gamers are fed up with this treatment, and rightfully so. They just want to be respected. They don't want to be nickeled and dimed at every given opportunity. They don't want to get their fucking milk squirt. Why? And then here comes Techland in the middle of the firestorm, walking in holding pizza while everything is literally burning down, announcing their new Dying Light points. You know, I have joked in my last video that Techland has a humiliation fetish, but I mean, with all of this shit going on in the gaming industry, and yet, here we are. Here we are about to read this lengthy FAQ surrounding Dying Light points. And I'm gonna be honest, I know I've been extremely critical of microtransactions and in-game currencies so far in this video that it literally led to a mini rant. I'm aware, okay? But I'm gonna try to go into this with an open mind and see what Techland has to say. But with everything that I said in the beginning portion of this video, you can understand where my concerns are coming from. You can understand why I'm extremely skeptical about this, because all of my experiences in the past, nothing good has come from it. In contrary, I really don't have an issue with microtransactions at a cosmetic level. If it stays at cosmetics, then awesome, cool, no issue with it, okay? My only worry is that this is a slippery slope and then it'll evolve and become something more intrusive over time, okay? Look at Destiny 2 and look at Overwatch. Damn it. But nonetheless, open mind, here we go. Let's begin with the FAQ. What are Dying Light points? Dying Light points is the in-game currency that allows you to buy skin bundles in Dying Light 2 at a better price and without leaving the game. It'll be available to purchase for real money on first-party stores throughout our in-game store. If this is only going to affect skin bundles and cosmetics, I don't really have that much of an issue with this, okay? When it comes to a game like Dying Light 2, and I know one of the biggest talking points amongst microtransactions is like pay-to-win elements and pay-to-win microtransactions. You can't do that in Dying Light 2 because there's no clear defined way to win in a fully PvE game like this. So I'm not really worried in that regard. If later on they go and implement various multiplayer and co-op modes, that'll be a conversation for another time. But from what I'm seeing so far, if it's just coming to what content is currently being made as add-ons, like things that are in the Steam store right now, where you have these different outfits and these different bundles, if those are the only things that are going to be in the store, it's not as big of an issue right now. It just depends on what it's going to look like in the future. Because one thing that I do need to mention is that the whole coin system, in other games at least, it's designed in a way to be extremely predatory and capitalize on your FOMO. Let's take this bundle from Overwatch. There's an $11 monkey business bundle right here, but as you can see in the store, there's no option to buy $11 worth. So you need to buy the $10 option, then the $5 option afterwards, and then you'll have $4 left over, which won't be enough to get you anything else in the store. So if you actually want to go and use those coins, you need to buy more coins so that you can actually spend it. On a technicality, you are saving money, but it's designed in a way to be tedious and in some cases confusing. It also heavily utilizes FOMO, because when you look into the store, you see, holy shit, this stuff is 26% off, it's 10% off, I gotta hop on it right now, I gotta spend $26 on an Overwatch skin right now. Purposely designed in a way to get you to spend more money, and depending on how Techland lays this out, it could be something very similar here. It all depends on whether or not they're going to be generous with the amount of coins here. Do I need Dying Light points? Only if you have been getting or planning to add some items from our bundles to your armory in your bid for survival. At the same time, they are not required to make the most out of the game you already purchased. So if you're not a fan of skin bundles, feel free to ignore them and carry on with your day. Okay, I mean, that one, pretty straightforward. When it comes to other various games like Call of Duty with COD points and V-Bucks at Fortnite, it's the same thing. If you don't want any of these cosmetics or any of these skins, you can just ignore it. Hopefully the game doesn't go and hound you to go and get these skin bundles and purchase some Dying Light points. Fingers crossed, okay? When it comes to actual implementation of these points, when the update does roll around, it could be vastly different than what I'm saying right now, okay? Why are you introducing Dying Light points? This is a straightforward way for you to buy bundles without the need to leave the game. Dying Light points will also make our lives easier because we won't have to set up the bundles on multiple outside stores. And to make it more attractive for you, we will be offering a more beneficial pricing for the majority of the bundles when bought with Dying Light points. So for that one, I do kind of understand where they are coming from. So when it comes in a developer standpoint, when it comes to updating the game and trying to push content, depending on the platform that it may be, it could take ages. I know specifically when it comes to like PlayStation and Xbox, you guys get updates and hotfixes way later than compared to PC. So at least with Dying Light points, when it comes to introducing new content and new bundles, well, purchasable content, they will be able to just push it, I don't want to say immediately, but possibly a lot quicker than what it normally is, than what we're used to right now. I am happy. I can't agree with that. I am happy with how it has worked until now. Can I just buy the skin bundles the old way? It will be possible to buy existing skin bundles the way you used to before, with the exception of the PlayStation Store, where the bundles will be removed upon the launch of Dying Light points. At the same time, one of our goals with Dying Light points is to gradually move all of the bundles inside the game so we can reduce the amount of time we spend on maintaining those on various storefronts. That one is a little interesting because in the beginning of the answer, they say that it will be possible to continue to buy the same way that you're normally used to, but over time, that's going to change. And they're starting with the PlayStation Store, which I imagine is a lot more difficult to work with because of Sony. Actually, I do know that. I mean, trying to get crossplay, Sony is like a shot in the dark when it comes to that. But nonetheless, I imagine that all the bundles that are going to be introduced into the game now, they're not going to put it on the Steam store and all that. It's just going to go straight into the Dying Light store. You know, you go to your main menu. That's probably why there's the Dying Light store now at the main menu. In a few months from now, I imagine every time a new bundle launches, it's just going to go straight in there. Also, before we do proceed, friendly little reminder to please drop a like and also subscribe. It may only take a few seconds for you, but it really goes a long way in supporting me and supporting this channel further. So if you can take that time right now to do so, be greatly appreciated. Let's get back to it. They also stated that the DLC 2 delay is not connected to them working on points, as it's two different teams. And now I am going to go and rapid fire a few of them pretty quickly just because they offer up either little insight or they just seem pointless to me. So all the questions regarding where the points are, how to spend them, you can pause the video right now and read them. This seems pointless for me to tell you it. I will say you'll only be able to buy bundles in the store, so no DLCs, no bloody ties, or upgrades will be in there. If you happen to own some of the items that are already in a bundle, you will not be getting a discount on it, but they're working on maybe doing that. So for example, if you have Negan's Batter ready and you want to buy the Walking Dead bundle, you're not going to get a discount for it, at least not yet. And also, like I said in the beginning, they'll be giving us 500 Dying Light points to test out, and when they're ready, you head to the store, claim them, and you can spend it on anything that you'd like. In general, those points are platform specific, so if you have two consoles that you play on, whichever one you buy it for, that is it. There's no cross-platform points here. And for right now, the only limitations on the points are in Japan due to regulations, and also countries that just don't sell Dying Light 2, they won't have microtransactions for them. Oh no, can I earn Dying Light points during in-game events? There won't be such an option at launch, but we are looking into the possibility of creating special occasions where you can do just that. So stay tuned for future updates. So no, okay, it's not coming, which is mind-boggling because they have a page, they have Techland GG, the Pilgrim Outpost, which has a whole different currency, mind you, that they could really just take advantage of. I mean, just replace these Pilgrim tokens with Dying Light points. I feel like it'd be a win-win. And if you want to really have players earn some of this stuff, you already built the website and the quests and the missions to do so. Now we're going to go and have Dying Light points and Pilgrim tokens. I know players aren't going to get confused by it, but there's more currencies being added into this single player game now. Uh-oh, the next one, can I get a refund of Dying Light points? Dying Light points are non-refundable, with the only exception being specific cases. For example, if you encounter technical issues with the Dying Light point services. Okay, guys, with this one, for all my Dying Light 2 fanatics and Techland followers, oh no, I mean, just looking at some of their previous updates, expecting this to work flawlessly is wishful thinking. I really do hope that for the sake of Techland, this is something that is fully functional and working. The cherry on top to like make this worse would be if the points shop isn't working properly. Could you imagine? Oh my goodness, Sammy. How does the pricing work for bundles bought with Dying Light points? A vast majority of the bundles can be bought cheaper, with the exception of our older bundles sold for $2.99. That price will stay the same. Whether you choose to buy them from a store or use Dying Light points, However, there is a way to get a better deal. Dying Light points will be sold in a pack, and the larger pack you buy, the bigger the discount you'll get for a bundle.
Oh no, no.
And that right there is what I was talking about earlier. This is the part where it could get extremely predatory, using other games and other developers as examples. Going back to that Overwatch 2 example, they have shown time and time again that they purposely adjust the numbers in order to get you to spend more money. This cannot be the case for Dying Light 2 if they wanted to succeed. I understand that this can really help Techland, and maybe they have no plans to do any of these tactics. It's just other developers have ruined it for them. They really have. $26 for a skin, which, mind you, it was a recolored skin. Stuff like this cannot happen in Dying Light 2. If Techland goes and starts committing these extreme ways using their player base, it will kill their game. It really will. I hope it never gets to this level of thievery that you're seeing on screen. Like, yes, they are saying one thing now, but who's to say it doesn't change over time? Techland did promise a Night Runner difficulty at launch, and we still don't have that yet. The next question does say, will skin bundles give me any advantage in game? They said no, and that nothing is really going to change from what's currently being sold out in the stores. But I do have some leaks that suggest one bundle called the Reburn DLC will give you a special ability. So all of this really needs to be taken with a grain of salt. Like, yes, there aren't really pay to win options in Dying Light 2 because you can't really win, but who knows what the future looks like. Maybe one day they want to start adding in legend level boosters so you can jump up right to level 250. It really all depends on Techland's decisions here, and they're asking for us to put a lot of faith in them here. It really is a big ask because when you compare it to other companies, they really did ruin it for everybody. Now, this next question is actually the one I brought up earlier in the video regarding the Tencent partnership announcement. In here, they say that it's not connected at all. And with that, I just don't know if it's true. Let's look at this as if were true, and we're going to take their word at it. What shitty timing. Why would you do it now out of all the times? The gaming industry is in complete shambles, and here we are. This is one of the first major AAA companies coming out after Baldur's Gate 3 and doing something like this. This story could blow up into something much more negative than they're anticipating, and I hope that's not the case. But man, it goes back to that humiliation fetish, man. Now, to go and play the other side, I do know that there were some leaks hinting that monetization was going to be added into this game from early development. And with that said, and if Techland is so adamant that Tencent had no role in this decision, that means it was all on Techland. So is that any better? Like, you gotta pick your poison here. Which one is worse to hear? I just don't know anymore, okay? I'll go into this with an open mind and see what comes from it. Maybe they do something incredible here. And maybe doing all of this, it gives them more funding, and it really does lead to a better future for Dying Light 2 and whatever comes after. And now to go ahead and finalize all of this, they do not plan to bring it to Dying Light 1. Support for that game is over. They won't be touching it. Thank God. It's only coming to Dying Light 2, and those points will be launching in the next update, and it's very much in a work in progress. Techland will be open to hearing feedback on this, seeing what you like, you dislike. One question in here did ask if the skins will become more grindable. Actually, no, it asked if the skins will no longer be grindable. It's kind of funny that Techland knows it's a grind, but they claim that nothing will change on that regard. I basically went over practically every single thought and opinion that I had throughout this entire FAQ about my thoughts and opinions on it. I'll go into it with an open mind, but I think microtransactions in general are just a slippery slope. For now, it's just bundles and outfits and skins. That's what they're saying. But over time, in like a year or two from now, what is the Dying Light store going to look like, okay? When you use Destiny 2 as an example, okay? They did something pretty similar. They introduced the Eververse. It was only cosmetics in there. And then over time, it slowly started taking advantage of the player more and more. It's just with everything going on in the name that microtransactions and in-game currencies have made for themselves, over the past few years, especially in the last few months with countless games like Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2, it's so hard to get excited for something like this. But we'll see what it is. Right, Danny? We'll see what it is, okay, buddy? And friends, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please do subscribe. It goes a really long way. Trying to hit 100K by the end of the year. Can we make it happen? Fingers crossed. But with that said, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.